Cage Minds. Got Josh Moreno, the other half of the main event for the Jackson's MMA Series 21, Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino, March 11th. How you doing, Josh?
I am doing fantastic, Micah. Thank you for asking.
How's camp been going? How are you feeling? Fight's right around the corner.
Camp has been awesome. I couldn't be happier with my camp. Really fantastic camp. I'm feeling really excited for this fight. Really excited to be fighting this guy, Omar Acosta. We're both Mexican. Hopefully it's into a Mexican brawl, so that's what fans want to see. That's what people want to see, so let's put on a show.
Consecutive main events up there at Buffalo Thunder. Give us some thoughts on being in the spotlight and having her promotion, put that kind of faith in you, putting you in the forefront.
It feels really good. It's been a long time coming. I've been training and fighting for years already, and it's just, I guess, everything has its time and its place, and it feels really good to be having back-to-back main events. I personally would like to be like, the first fight, because I just want to get out of there and just be like done with it, go eat, go do whatever I got to do. But it feels awesome, and I'm really happy for Jackson's MMA Series having my second consecutive MMA, main event.
So how's that felt to you from the amateurs where you do get that early night's work to you had to wait at King of the Cage, I believe being the first pro fight,
right,
to main event, and now again the main event. So how's that felt to you and your body having that longer night for fight night?
It's really nothing that I haven't felt before, just because of the fact that even in my amateur career, for some reason I always ended up being from the first fight, and then they would switch it up to being the co-main event or the main event. So it's really nothing different, but my body holds up really good. I really can't say anything that I haven't been through before, so it's good.
Carrying that mantra of a knockout artist from the amateurs up to the pros, getting recognized, making a name for yourself. What does that feel like now as a pro?
It feels awesome, because just the fact that I was always the smaller guy in the light heavyweights and the heavyweights, and to be knocking, heavyweights out like that, I always thought, what's going to happen if I get into the later rounds, or, what if I bump into guys that are, heavier and more faster than me or whatever. And that wasn't the case. For some reason, everybody used to tell me, wow, you're really fast for your size. And they look at me and they say like, hey, this guy's gonna be an easy fight. But then they get in there, and then next thing you know, they're looking at the the headlights on the top of their head. So it feels really good. It feels really good.
About this point in the camp, do you yearn for being an amateur again? Those days of being a heavyweight.
I do, just because of the fact that I could eat whatever I wanted. I really miss those days. But then again, the wife loves it even more now that I'm a lot more slimmer, more trimmer, so she's excited about that. But yeah, man, I'm just really missing those days of just eating whatever I wanted. But now it's getting healthier, and mindset is ready, so it's all good.
We know you're a family man, the wife, the son.
Yeah.
Have you carried that weight class change and the dieting now? Is that a whole family experience?
Well, it is for me. I mean, my little baby boy, he's still, doing whatever he wants. He's eating his Lunchables in front of me. He's eating whatever he wants in front of me. He says, "Dad, pizza is life." It is true. It is true. And, I embrace the moment. I enjoy the moment, because they see me doing the hard work, even though sometimes I really don't want anybody around me while I'm, eating my sad-looking salad and stuff, and they're enjoying their Taco Cabana, plate dinners. They embrace it because they see how much hard work I'm putting into it, so it's cool.
Do you have the family there on fight night? I've honestly not ran up and met them yet, and you're pretty focused, so I haven't known if I've seen them around you fight night.
Yeah, they all attend my fights. They all all from cousins to family and friends. The relatives that are really close that I can call them family. They all go and support. Even my my baby boy, is most important. He always attends. And he's the one that actually pushes me. For my last fight, my wife told me that he was like crying because Sonny Young, he was like putting me on my back and stuff, and he was crying, and he was saying, in the video, I can hear him say, fight angry. And for some reason, it's always like a switch that it turns on, and I hear him, and I fight angry, and I end up, killing the dude in that same moment. So it's awesome just to have him there.
That ultimate motivation he provides.
Yeah, that ultimate motivation. That's what I do it for my baby boy.
Now, talking about that last fight, you fought back off of your back. You fought off of the adversary of being taken down several times, and you catch him in a choke early in the second round. What was that fight like for you, and how do you feel you grew during that performance?
Well, that last fight, I just had something to prove just because, even you personally, you didn't really see me in my fighting career, what I would do or how would I react in those situations, because I would always knock guys out or I would break them. But it was actually really good that I got put in those positions because I got to show my skill level and, how I would react in those type of situations with the wrestler, a grappler, or ground game. So, I'm really happy with that performance. I was really relaxed. At no moment I was like in desperate mode or anything. If anything, the last 10 seconds of the first round, I kind of broke Sonny, at those last 10 seconds because he's like, holy crap, I didn't I didn't sign up to be fighting Satan. So, it was awesome.
What is it? How do you maintain that momentum and your willingness to fight when you do get taken down? A lot of guys get put on their back and you see they get flat and they don't get back up. You're able to get an underhook, stay on your hip, and fight and get up and not, concede the position.
It's just years and years of training, man. Going up with, sparring and, just training all year round with the greatest people, greatest training partners in the world. It just prepares you for the situations. I always say, if you can't, get an underhook, you can't get off your back, and fight for those type of situations in the gym, how are you going to do it in the ring? So that's what we prepare for here in the gym. We prepare for the worst situation possible, and there's no situation that I can't fight out of.
Main event spotlight, it is heavy on you, doing media, getting more and more attention. What is the other side now of the business coming into play? How does that feel for you, and how is that process?
It's the process of that is still working slowly but surely. I'm not too worried about that. Thankfully my wife, she's the one that's been taking care of like the paperwork and taking the phone calls and stuff like that and getting ready for the interviews and stuff. So she's a big part in my in my fight career, in my life as well. So I'm not too worried about the whole business part yet. Right now I'm focusing on the fight. I'm focusing on what am I gonna do in the fight. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm focusing on. The business part, that'll come later.
So right now your career kind of is a family business.
It is. I mean, it is because I have been fighting, for the last 10 to 12 years. So it is a part of my life. It is my life, and that's just something that I want to pass on to my child as well. Where if he goes to school and they ask him about me, he's like, hey, my daddy can kick your daddy's butt.
Kicking it old school, right? I got to bring this up. Wearing the Tap Out T-shirt. Do you know how long you've had that shirt for?
Man, wow. This T-shirt, I've been carrying it around since I was like 15 or 16 possibly. I remember I bought this at the mall when they had that first MMA gear at the mall, Coronado Mall. But yeah, it's been that long. Man, you can tell it's all faded, but still rocking it, man.
Definitely. I'm like, the shirt just brings me back to nostalgia if you could have it for an MMA fan. I know our sport isn't that old, but I'm like, when Tap Out wasn't just some training apparel at J.C. Penney's.
Right, and you pick it up, walk around, whatever downtown and say like, hey, I'm a fighter. Nope, not anymore. Now it's an actual fighter wearing a Tap Out shirt.
Now, looking back at those old school days, we had Tap Out, we had Affliction. Affliction's still around, but
right.
Somewhat prominent in Bellator, but you don't see as many of the T-shirts in the old school. How have you thought the business side of MMA has changed? Like the apparel side, we saw from the Tap Out Affliction days to now Reebok, and you looking at the options for sponsorships or the people you're trying to get with. It's more of an athletic apparel brand than the T-shirt companies we used to see.
Right. I mean, it's awesome, man. Like you said, it's now we have other type of sponsors, and now, other type of, companies coming in and, actually wanting to get in the MMA business where they're like offering apparel and different types of, names and brands. So it's awesome that we don't just have this Tap Out, type of stuff anymore where people look at it and it's like, hey, look at this guy still rocking out the Tap Out stuff. So it's cool.
Is there just a different feel when you're training from the old Tap Out T-shirts to now it's Reebok, there's Under Armour, you have the rash guards. It's kind of stuff that is more athletically based than it's what I have.
Yeah. No, not really, man. I mean, that apparel thing doesn't really matter to me, whether it's a, like you said, a JC Penney T-shirt or a Walmart T-shirt. It doesn't really matter to me, Like me, I have a big old case of like just shirts that I outwear already because I'm so thin and so skinny that I still bring them into the sparrings or grappling or whatever I do, and I just bring them in here because I'm not gonna go buy $80 shirts or $120 shoes, $120 shirts just to work out, and then get ripped in grappling. Are you serious? My wife would kill me.
Right?
Yeah.
It looks nice, but is it really that functional?
I mean, technically, my son is the one that gets expensive stuff, rocking out the Jordans and Nikes and stuff, and he rips them in the first week.
Keep the kid looking fresh, though, right?
The kid looking fresh.
So what is the plan for after the fight? You get to put the camp behind you. Do you have a vacation, a get away from fight kind of plan in place for after this?
No, sir. No matter the outcome of this fight, I'm still going to keep going. I'm still going to keep on pushing, keep on trucking. I already rested so many years of my life. I could have done this a long time ago, but I chose not to just because of being lazy and saying that tomorrow, the next month, whatever. And that phase is gone, man. Now it's the time where I got to put in the work and just do what I do, man. And I got to keep on going. And yeah.
So this is the time. This is making the push. And has it been the family that's motivated you to finally do this, to commit full time?
Yes, it has. I remember one of my very close cousin, I could even call him brother, Abraham Carmona. He's the one that actually started pushing me more. I just saw the way he was pushing at his work. He went from being a laborer to actually a project manager, and really, really close to being really close with the boss in the company. So just seeing the inspiration from him kept me pushing forward, because he would always talk to me and say, because you're really good, you're really talented. If you just put that work and effort in, you could be somebody, you could do something with it. You just got to stop being lazy. So talk like that with him is actually, what made me grow as well, and thought about, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep on being lazy? Am I going to be wanting to be an 8 to 5 type of work deal, or am I going to want to do something out of this MMA career? And it's working out.
There's a lot of the physical aspect of MMA, but there's other aspects, the mental and whatnot.
Right.
What do you think is been the biggest difference from your amateur to now your pro run in your game with this new focus?
From the amateur run to now, it's just more mentally being prepared, more mentally being smart about the fights now. Like I always said, even in my amateurs, I don't care who they put in front of me. It's all about performing and do what I do, and putting myself in better situations than the guy will be. So as long as I keep my mental straight, and do what I have to do, and train smartly, I'm going to be the victor all the time. I can't really say that this fight is going to go any different than my last one. I am going to go in there. I will be the victor, whether it's by decision, submission, or knockout. I will be the victor in that night.
And now, one last question. How do you manage time? Because you work, you're here in the gym, and family man, it sounds like a busy schedule.
It is a busy schedule, but I maintain it fairly well, and I'm really grateful for my employer, Roof Care. I'm really blessed because they give me the opportunity, for lunch. They give me about an hour, whatever days that I need. If I just tell them, and they understand, because they're one of my sponsors too, so it's awesome. I'm really blessed to have them. So they give me the time that I need to train or to do whatever, So I'm really blessed to have that. Coming here and training, it's rough, because even though sometimes I don't take the days off of work, I still work, I still come here, I put in, 110%, and then I still have to put, 110% into my family, being a family man. So I maintain it fairly well. I don't let the other, I'm too tired to play with my son, or I'm too tired to go watch a movie with my wife. I still have to make that time, because I am a family man, and I do love my family.
Omar Acosta, March 11th. What do you think about his game, what he's bringing to the cage?
I don't care about his game. I don't care what he brings to the cage. As long as he shows up, I'm going to do me. You know what I can do. Everybody else knows what I can do. As long as it's a big brawl, it's a Mexican brawl, give the fans that are going to be there that night what they want to see, and it's a fight.
Like you, he's fought his biggest heavyweight. A scrappy grappler is what he's been known around the scene as. What makes the difference in this fight? Why do you get your hand raised?
He doesn't work as hard as me. He doesn't, train as hard as me, and he isn't as smart as me. So I have been trucking, I have been working as hard, and no disrespect or nothing against the guy. It's just that I am really confident in what I can do and what I will do. So as long as he comes prepared, there's no difference in this fight. I will be the victor.
Anybody you need to shout and thank or anything like that?
Yeah, I would like to thank, quick thanks to my sponsors, Abogado Elias, El Naranjero Super, Roof Care, and Oasis Vapor. Thank you guys for sponsoring me.
Josh Moreno, thank you for the time.
Thank you.